Welcome back to TTC. HID headlights, are they as next level as we all remember? How do they compare to LED, to traditional halogen, and to HID LEDs? Not even sure what that is. We went shopping on Amazon and bought several brands from $25 to over $100 on everything from OEM parts to 3200 lumen replacements, 7600 lumen to 22,000 lumen and 30,000 lumen examples. So we're going to slap them into this projector housing to see how they work, which means if you do enjoy a brightness increase, you might not be as annoying to others by focusing that light. Then use this new suitcase bomb looking integrating sphere with power supply to measure those claims, see how efficient they are, and then see how they measure in wasted heat and brightness after an hour of use. We've gone down this path before with flashlights and LED headlights too, and found Amazon not always the place for the most honest sellers and brands, so those flashy specs can be sometimes a bit useless. With even more accurate equipment and now the projector housings and HIDs you guys have been requesting, we're going to try and inject some bit of reality into this situation and help you make up your own mind. This is a headlamp housing from an Audi S4, and it uses HID headlight bulbs for the main beams out the projector lens, specifically D1S class HIDs, which are pretty high voltage, 85 volts. The OEM replacement calls for this German Osram part number 66144, which are $100 to $105 for the two, are 4300K color temperature, and by standards can't be over 35 watts or 3200 lumen. Let's find out where we're at then, basically a baseline target for many of these other brands that are supposed to essentially embarrass it with their brightness. And since we want to compare it to something, here's an OEM Osram halogen headlight bulb, the old school type, not that far removed from an Edison bulb. We'll be using this, the TK lamp, no affiliation headlight tester integrating sphere and power supply, where you can measure light lumens, watts used up, and lumens per watt, or basically how efficiently you're turning your car's juice into bright instead of other things, well, mainly heat. Now the Osram halogen is pretty straightforward. Plugging it in is simple, just positive and negative, and when you turn it on, you get essentially unwavering 1,350 lumens by sending it 62 watts, which is 21.7 lumens per watt. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that's not very good. The HID, on the other hand, this uses high voltage to turn on and, well, let me just quote it here, electrical gas discharge lamp, which produces light by means of an electric arc between tungsten electrodes housed inside a translucent or transparent fused quartz or fused alumina arc tube. Sounds fancy. To get that 85 volts from your 12 to 14 running volt system, you'll need one of these German HID ballasts here, which takes power from our no-fly list looking briefcase. Now HIDs, unlike the last light, fluctuate quite a bit on startup, so we're going to be plotting out how each light does for you, and that looks like this, starting out low and, well, heating up, then even into the 5,000 lumen range, and eventually settling down to where it will live in the 2700s or so, and using much less power along the way, 39-ish watts through a ballast at least, for 68 and a half lumens per watt. Nice. Adjusting the voltage down and up around the voltage of where your alternator would be sees small difference, but we'll keep it at 14 volt across all the bulbs we're testing. And that projection Audi housing looks like this, which will also clip to a minute later when it settles down. It looks good, crisp, bright, 4300 color temperature, seems nice. We're calling this an 8 out of 10 subjectively before measuring anything scientifically with each bulb. After a half hour of use for each bulb left in the housing, then put into this cradle thing for temperature testing, this is what that difference looks like. The halogen is still 1356 lumen and the same high 21s efficiency, while the HID has dropped a tiny bit from its 2700 to 2630, but more efficient, 70 lumens per watt. Nice. And while operating at a relatively cool 103 Fahrenheit, that's not bad at all, while the halogen, a full 178, spicy. So it's looking like a big upgrade. Let's see if we can upgrade, save some money, or both, by buying from Amazon and doing an LED swap as well. First up, with an OEM style replacement, it advertises OE quality, but usually with some unpronounceable name as the manufacturer. These go for around 18-20 bucks a pair and advertise the same color temperature and lumens as the OEM Osram pair. In person, if the OEM bulb is an 8 out of 10, we called this one a 7 out of 10. Looking at them back to back, it warms up to the same color, but just not as much laser-like on the cutoff and less oomph. In the Sphere, we now get to watch a bit of a drag race between two HIDs, and if you had one bulb go out and bought this quote-unquote OE replacement to, well, replace it, it's noticeable enough to spot the difference between the two here, settling in at 2200 lumens down from 2700. And after an hour of use in that lamp housing, that's making 2150 lumen, so yeah, less, and just 58.3 lumens per watt efficiency, down from 70, and 115 degrees up from 103 on the OEM, thanks to that poor efficiency. Now moving on to the last option today that advertises the same factory 3200 lumens, it's the Electron Lumen, and it comes with one glove. These, unlike the past couple, are 6000K color temperature, which is what most brands call bright white. Even the factory Osram offers this color, and yeah, out in the open it looks more blue-ish than the 4300K, but in the housing, once it warms up for a bit, this ain't bad. In brightness or color, maybe the color is fooling these eyes, but these were given a 7.5 between the OEM and replacement models in light quality. As for the Sphere, it doesn't altogether disagree. While taking a bit to show any real difference, yeah, 2308 lumen, which after an hour is 2260, an increase in both over the last option, and just 109 degrees, 61.1 lumens per watt. That's pretty high. I mean, we're headed in the right direction at least, but not OEM levels yet, and none of these percentages are positive compared to what's being advertised. So maybe the answer is more lumens. Numbers would say yes, but it is Amazon after all. This is the Polar Pra HID set that comes with two gloves. $27, so not a whole lot more, also 6000K, but now instead of 3200 advertised lumens, we're looking at 7600. Even if you divide that by 2, that's more, but they appear to list single bulbs at also 7600, so yeah, a lot. And it turns on. This was not all that impressive in person. It seems to sort of fall off. The camera is in a fixed setting, so it doesn't fluctuate between bulbs, and this one just seemed to be, well, not 2 times what the other ones are. And this is what it does in the integrating Sphere in light blue. It behaves like the rest of the aftermarket options, really. Then it hits a wall after around 30 seconds and falls off in a big way. 1920 lumens, not even sure where these 36.5 watts are going because it was 111 degrees after using it for an hour and just 1830 lumens now. 49.6 lumens per watt, really bad. This thing's just not great. 25% of advertised. Yikes. Moving on. To D-Mex, sounds like a fast casual Mexican restaurant, but no, it's a $32 set of D1S HIDs back in our 4300K color temperature rated at 3800 lumens. The build quality and details seem to be up in the game a little bit here, and yeah, light quality reminds us of OEM, maybe just a little less intense. This got a 7.5 from us before plugging it into anything really scientific. Which yeah, eventually when you're talking scientific, keeps up with the others and then passes OEM for a bit, then it falls on its face hard, finishing below the $20 Electron Lumen, 2198 lumens. Strangely, this eventually picks up after some use, a little, 22280, 113 degrees Fahrenheit, performs very similar to just a no-name OE replacement, 57.4 in efficiency. On to the next one. And this is the Torch Beam. I assume or hope they mean the British meaning of torch. It's both less expensive and more expensive than the D-Mex that we just showed. That's because Torch Beam offers a D1S HID in 6000K and a D1S LED HID, which I didn't even know was a thing, but one brand offered both options, so I felt it was a good opportunity to pit HID up against an LED HID. It's not just a regular old LED though, and we'll be testing one of those coming up. This unit takes 85 volts and requires the same ballast and plug connector your car would already be using, so it's exclusively for people swapping out xenon gas tubes for LED. With some price difference in the opposite of expected if you have an outdated perception of HIDs like I do, $27 for the traditional HID and $74 for the LEDs. But maybe with some merit. This is advertising 3800 lumens and this one's advertising 22,000 lumens from the same brand. So you'd expect some sort of linear relationship, like this LED would be 5 to 6 times brighter, right? The Torch Beam HID performs here in red, not super impressively, all said. It eventually falls off and maintains more than the Polar Pro, but that's not saying a lot, 2056 lumens. And this is the Torchbeam LED HID. Being an LED, it doesn't need to warm up like the gas tubes, and instead, like most LEDs, falls off gradually, but flatlines at a still very high 3218 lumens, the best so far. Now, is that 22,000 lumens or anywhere near that? No, we'd have nothing to make videos on if everyone just put numbers on the boxes that matched the product's performance. But subjectively, we did give this one a 6.5 out of 10, nothing too special once warmed up and running for a bit, while this one, the LED, got an 8.5 from us, a borderline 9, a nice wide solid beam pattern, hottest in the center where it needs to travel the furthest distance, still cuts off sharply, and while rated 6500K measured for us closer to 5900 to 6100K like the other 6000K HIDs, at least from my phone app. But LEDs can fall off over time if not cooled adequately, despite having fans on them after all, and that was the case here a bit. The HID after an hour improved from 2056 to 2190, oddly, and the LED fell from 3218 to 3056, still on top. But yeah, both of these registered 120 degrees and 130 degrees on the light with the integrated heatsink and cooling fan. Both the highest so far. They're torching their name for traditional reasons after all. All right, time for one last moonshot. More money, more lumens, and fancy heatsink and machining or extruding, more than likely. The Super-Re 30,000 lumen HID LED for $80.
Damn, that's bright.
So yeah, this one's hard to look in its general direction. Light quality wise, we gave this one an 8, still quite good. Not an 8.5, but good enough for second best, tied with the OEM here. In the integrating sphere, this is where the Super-Re does super reasonable, following a similar curve to the last LED, just higher, leveling out at 3,732 lumens. It may not seem like a whole lot, this difference here, but near 1.4 times the stock already scoring well HID, it is noticeable. That eventually falls off to 3,560 to remain in first with a record high 95.4 lumens per watt, which again shows by being only 108 degrees, the fan a noticeable accessory working away on this thing, but seems to do the trick. All right, and last up, before we rank these things, simply because you guys wanted to see it, Sealight, the #1 requested Amazon brand in our last headlight video comments, but they don't make an HID model like we're using today. But that's almost even better because we'll now get to add a standard LED aftermarket option to our list of halogen OEM HID, aftermarket HID, and LED HIDs to crown the champ. And of course, this won't be enjoying 85 volts, just 12 volts on this $50 set of 9004 size class bulbs, which is a very common size, but it does advertise 18,000 lumens, so no slouch, don't count it out. Now, despite us choosing a light with the same distance to the emitter so that it might look good in the projector lens, not as bad as I assumed, but also not laser sharp, as it is made for a 9004 headlamp and not a D1S like ours. But still better than last episode, those were a bit rough. This one measures, at least once the other HIDs settle down, pretty respectable, very close to the OEM unit, 2,590 lumens, and that eventually does get reduced after they've been on for a while to 2,140, basically settling into where many of the aftermarket HIDs are. And 110 degrees, 85.2 lumens per watt, dang good, but also not having to go through a ballast. This means when looking overall here, modern, not even that expensive LEDs, like for those of you without HIDs to begin with, are within that HID realm without all the complicated ballasts and high voltage. Pretty cool if you're using projector housings at least. But yeah, Amazon be doing Amazon things and getting out of hand as usual. Even if 84%, let's say, is the specification goal here, few of these even came close. And when you total all of these things and rank them from best to worst, this is the average placing for each light. Lower is better. 2.2 for the OEM Osram, 5.6 for the OE type replacement, 3.6 for the Electron Lumen, not bad, 6.8 for the Polar Pro, ouch, 5 for DMEX, 6.4 for Torchbeam HID, much better for the LED, and even better still for the Super-Re LED, and 5.3, this one not being a fair direct comparison. So suggestions from us, if you need HID bulbs, buy OEM, you can't go wrong. Want to save a buck? Instead, surprisingly, these electron lumen ones, not bad. Closest in spec honesty, didn't get crazy hot or anything. They were the lowest cost option and fared the best in aftermarket HIDs. But even the factory, government limit on these things is 3200 lumens. So if you want to stretch your legs and actually experience that, HID LEDs, 85 volts worth of LED, are a pretty cool option. This one being the best of what we tested, most efficient, and stays the coolest, so that's a good indication for a long service life. If you don't have 85 volts on tap, regular old 12 volt LED bulbs these days are pretty much in the same wheelhouse as HIDs. Might be worth the upgrade, assuming you don't drive a lifted truck. You don't get extra cool points for blinding people. Appreciate you joining us on this one. We make episodes at least every Friday. Click subscribe to see those, and thanks for watching.